All right. So the next thing I want to do, and I'm going to split it into two videos just because I don't have room to work up here to do all 8 of them. But the third page in that packet, the Simplifying Trig Expressions packet, has 8 more examples or 8 problems that we can work through. Now, if you want to try these on your own first, you should totally stop this video and just try them. Okay. And if you get stuck, that's fine because you've never done this before, and this is entirely different from a lot of things that you've seen. But it's just algebra manipulation. Okay, and so some of them are a little simpler than others. Some of them are done in basically one step. Some of them take 3 or 4, and you might seem like, again, that you feel like you're getting lost along the way. But it's really good practice. I also want you to realize that the very back page, or the last page of that packet, is all 8 of those problems worked out step by step. Okay, so you actually already have all of this. It's entirely possible that I'm just making these 2 videos because I really enjoy doing these. Okay, they're fun to work through. They're really good, again, mental just pieces that you're putting in place, and they're really good kind of puzzles to fit together. So at the very least, you can kind of walk through them, or I can walk through them with you, and just sort of see what we can and can't do already. So feel free to pause at any point. See if you get stuck. If you get stuck, keep going and watch for a little bit. See if it helps you get unstuck, and so on. Okay, so I am going to go a little bit faster with these because we've been exposed to all of the different strategies already. So again, you can always pause, rewind, and so on. Okay, so the first one, we actually already did. Okay, so I have sine times cotangent. I have a couple things multiplied together. One of them I can turn into sines and cosines, so I do that. Okay, none of my other strategies would work besides strategy 1 because there's nothing to FOIL here. There's nothing to factor. There's no common denominators. There's no fractions, so it's obviously a strategy 1 type problem. Okay, so I have sine of x, and when we did this one, we replaced cotangent. You can come over here, see cotangent is cosine over sine. Okay. And because it's multiplied, basically this is just one big fraction, and I can cancel these out, and I just have cosine of x. So if you check the back page of the packet, it should look pretty much exactly like what we just did right there. Okay, so those are nice ones. Any ones that don't have any pluses or minuses in the problem are just straight up substitution and simplify. So if you're looking for a good place to start, like if you're working on any of the worksheet ones and you're trying them out, try to find the ones like this one and this one where there's no adding or subtracting going on. So all multiplying, dividing is all substituting and then simplifying. Okay, so the second one, same idea, all substituting and simplifying. Okay, so secant is 1 over cosine. And cosecant is 1 over sine. When we are dividing 2 fractions, we again realize that's the same thing as multiplying by the reciprocal. Okay, so that gets rid of that guy. And then I just clean it up. Okay, top times the top, so 1 times sine is sine. Bottom times the bottom, cosine times 1 is cosine. Okay. Sine over cosine looks more normal than this one, and it's nice because I can take that one step further, because we've already shown that sine over cosine is just tangent. So again, those ones are nice. Substitute, simplify. Number 3 might look a little more complicated than these guys. It's not. Okay, it is a fraction already, so if you wanted to, you could separate it apart. That's not going to help you a whole lot. The thing that you should notice right away, because I've been trying to hammer it into your head especially, you notice hopefully a 1 and a squared. Okay? And anytime you have a 1 and a squared, that's always Pythagorean. Okay, so 1 minus sine squared comes from this guy right here. Okay, how do I get 1 minus sine squared out of this again? Well, I subtract the sine squared over to this side. So 1 minus sine squared is just going to equal cosine squared. We've done that manipulation a couple times, and I think that one's actually on the front page of that packet as well. Okay, so we can just take 1 minus sine squared and replace it with cosine squared. Okay, and the bottom's still cosine. Okay, and this works just like any other simplifying we've ever done. Something squared divided by 1 of itself. Basically, we can just take out one of these cosines from the bottom with one of them from the top. Anything squared divided by itself just leads to itself. Like if you take x squared divided by x, one of those is going to take out one of those. And then the fourth one should look familiar because it's pretty much the example that we did for strategy number 2, just with different functions in there. Okay, so I look at it, it's already sines and cosines, so I can't do any simplifying there or substituting there. But I do notice that both of these have a sign in it. Okay, so if they both have a sign, I can get that sign out of there. Okay, I can factor it out of both